Good morning children, hope all are doing fine. Today I am going to teach you the first chapter 8th standard history sources. In this chapter you are going to learn sources required to the study of history, types of sources of history, importance of the archaeological sources, importance of the inscription, importance of oral sources in history. History is a systematic study of past. What do you mean by history? History is a systematic study of past. It is a study of past. I mean, ಗತಿಸಿ ಹೋದ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. It is the study of systematic study of past. History is written on the basis of sources. Underline that history is written on the basis of sources. Sources ಅಂದ್ರೆ nothing but ಆಧಾರ. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು sources ಅಂತೀವಿ. Without sources there is no history. Without history there is no sources, no history. There is no source, no history. Underline that it is the stance of history. Historian is like an advocate. The advocate presents their argument. You already seen in court and all, the arguments are made by advocates on the basis of followed evidences. Without evidence, they can't advocate anything. They can't talk about without evidence. They can't argue anything. And sources related to their case. If any cases is there, without evidences, they can't argue in the court also like that. Without evidence, there is no history. Understand, friends? Without evidence, there is no history. History is none other than systematic study of past. There is no sources, no history. Similarly, historians collect the sources, subject them to critical examination, analysis, and then write the history. ಏನು ಆಧಾರ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ, so on that basis they will write about the history. Whenever direct sources are not available, they need to make assumptions. Assumptions ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಊಹೆಗಳು. Without ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು direct sources, without direct sources there will be an assumptions based on the available sources. ಯಾವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಧಾರ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಊಹೆಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತಿದೆ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Whenever direct sources are not available, they need to make assumptions based on the available sources. Hence, often an event is analyzed from the different perspectives by different historians. You already heard that historians is only not only one person or two persons. There are more than historians. So there are different perspectives by different historians. What is a source? Now, what is a source? Human beings have created many facilities to lead their life since ancient times. You already know that. ಪುರಾತನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಮಂಗನಿಂದ ಮಾನವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So you already heard that they have created many facilities. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಪಟ್ಟಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಒಂದು ಫೈರ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟೋನ್, you already know that. Two stones they did like this, so fire was came. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರು. ಮಂಗನಿಂದ ಮಾನವ, ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬೆಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ since from ancient times. If the things used by human beings in the past have remained, so what they were used in the past they are remained, then they are called as the sources by historians. So ಏನೇನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ancient times ಇಂದ remaining things ಏನೇನು ಇದೆ ಈಗ, so that is known as sources. Yes, the agricultural tools, example agricultural tools by the earlier people. Forts means ಕೋಟೆಗಳು. Forts, coins, what they were used, the coins, inscriptions, arms, temples and other religious buildings are considered as the sources to write history. You already know that anything temples, forts, ಕೋಟೆಗಳು ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, temples ಇರಬಹುದು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪುರಾತನ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು. Historians, done by historians. Similarly, the written documents and literary works are the main source of history. That is, written documents also is there, written literature. So literary works, this all comes under literary works, are the main source of history. The materials needed for the writing of history are the primary sources. Whatever they use to write the literature, now you have pen, chalk, paste, example pencil, varieties of pens. On that time, what they used to write, that is called written literature. What they used, that are the primary sources. First one, literary sources. In literary sources, there are two types: written literature. Second one, oral literature. In written literature, also two types. First one, native literature. Second one, foreign literature. There are two types of sources. First one, literary sources. Second one, archaeological sources. Now I am going to teach you literary sources. In that, first one, written literature. In written literature, there are two types: native literature, foreign literature. Now I am going to teach you written literature. Written literature is the main source of literary sources. Literature can bring the contemporary social life of the times of the writer alive to us. A literary work portrays the then existing aspects of life either directly or indirectly. There are two types in written literary forms. They may tell you by directly or indirectly. So in that, two types are there. First one, native literature. What is native literature? Native means they can ask you whenever you go for other villages, what is your native? You can say Bangalore is my native. Like that, native literature. The literature created by Indians. The literature created by Indians is known as native literature. Once again, I am telling you, children, the literature created by Indians is known as native literature. Underline that. The literature created by Indians in native languages is called as the native literature. Underline that. Page number 2. First paragraph, second paragraph, native literature. The literature created by Indians by their native languages is called native literature. Literary works in Sanskrit, Prakrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, Marathi, Kashmiri, Gujarati, Oriya and in many other native languages are the sources. So the written literature, your languages are there. You can see Sanskrit, Prakrit, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Oriya, Hindi, Marathi, Kashmiri. In many other native languages, they written the literature. First one is that Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya wrote Arthashastra. King Ala's Gata Saptasati. King Ala's Gata Saptasati. Vishaka Datta's Mudra Rakshasas. Children, you already learned this in 6th standard. Please note this. Underline these lines and all. First one, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Second, King Ala's Gata Saptasati. Vishaka Datta's Mudra Rakshasas. Kalhana's Rajatarangini. Vanabhatta's Arshacharita. Chandvadya's Prithviraja's Raso. Underline that. Chandvadya's Prithviraja Raso. Pampa's Vikramarjuna Vijaya. Sangam literature and many other such literary works can be named as native literature. They may ask you for native literature examples. You can say Kautilya's Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, King Ala's Gata Saptasati, Vishaka Datta's Mudra Rakshasa, Kalhana's Rajatarangini, Vanabhatta's Arshacharita, Chandvadya's Prithviraja Raso, Pampa's Vikramarjuna Vijaya, Sangam literature. These were all written in native literature. These were portrayed their contemporary social, religious, economic, cultural and political life of people. They written about political life of people, economic, religious, ಧರ್ಮಗಳು, ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. in native literature written by Indians. literature. What do you mean by foreign? Foreign at Krishna, Nenbarate, Bedevara, Desha, Tanidi. Who were visited India? They wrote the literature in India, so that is called as foreign literature. For many foreigners who visited India as how they visited as travelers or businessmen or officials, ambassadors, missionaries, have recorded their observations and experiences in their works. So, example, I will tell you Megasthenes, Phaeus, Euenstein, Ptolemy, and Pharistra, who are all foreign literature, came to India to visit India and they wrote their experiences in their literature. So, India ke ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಪ್ರವಾಸಿಗರಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ರಾಯಭಾರಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಸಿನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಅವರ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನ ಈ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಏನು ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್? ನೇಟಿವ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಫಾರಿನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೂ ವಿಸಿಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ during as like travelers or ambassadors. Their experience they wrote in literature. They are the examples of for foreign literature. Megasthenes Indica. Underline that, children. Megasthenes wrote Indica. Phaeus Go Koki. Euenstein Siyuki. Ptolemy's Geography. Pharistas Tariq I Pharista. Babar's Babri. Again I am going to read you. Please listen carefully. Megasthenes Indica. Phaeus Go Koki. Euenstein Siyuki. Ptolemy's Geography. Pharistas Tariq I Pharista. Babar's Babri. And others are the important sources. Apart from this, there are many other writings that serve as the sources. Apart from this, there are many other writings also are there. But in this, you can say Megasthenes, Euenstein, Pharista's name. So in this works, also one can get a depiction of their contemporary social, political, economic, cultural, and administrative aspects. I have already told you in native literature also they wrote about the religious, social, as like foreign literature also wrote aspects like cultural, administrative, and religious, political aspects. Extraction, hyperbole, and loyalty to one's master are apparent in native literature. Similarly, in foreign literature, due to lack of local knowledge, many misgivings are recorded. So, in native literature, they are written by Indians, but in foreign literature, there are, underline that children's page number 2, fourth para, there are many lack of local knowledge. Already before independence, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊರತೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊರತೆಗಳು ತುಂಬಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಸ್ಗೀವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಿಸ್ಗೀವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್. Historians have the challenge of writing history keeping in mind all these limitations. So historians means one who write about history, they are known as historians. So ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಏನು ಬರೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So there are many limitations to the historians by writing the literature. Next in that literary sources, next oral literature. What do you mean by oral? So you can know that in exams or test, Miss oral ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಇವತ್ತು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, that is nothing but oral. They will ask oral. Orally telling ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಯಿ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, not written. Written ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರವಣಿಗೆಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Oral means in telling. Oral literature means the folk story, folk songs, folk legends, ballads, and others that pass on from one person to another by word of mouth. I already told you by mouth. Orally means telling by mouth. And ballads, what do you mean? You may ask me, what is ballads? It is poem or song. Ballads means poem or song in small stanza. In small stanza is ballads. Ballads means poem or songs in small stanza. You know that in English poem there is small stanza, 4 lines or 3 lines or 5 lines like that. It's a small stanza. It is known as ballads. Since the beginning of human life, human beings are passing on their experiences in the form of story. You know that in beginning of the human's life, they are passing their life story like a small experience. How they experience, they wrote like a small story. Songs and ballads orally from generation to generation. The folk people have created ballads about their local heroes. So folk people have created ballads. They also created a small stanzas, poems or songs about their local heroes. They are ballads on Kumara Rama, the Nayaks of Chitradurga. Underline that the poems were written on the heroes. Kumara Rama, Nayaks of Chitradurga, Kempegowda, Tippu Sultan, Sangodi Rayana, Kittur Rani Chennamma, Sindhura Lakshmana, Meadows Taylor and others. So the ballads were created about small stories about Tippu Sultan, Kempegowda, Sangodi Rayana, Chennamma, Sindhura Lakshmana, Meadows Taylor. Legends means the local mythological stories. What do you mean by legends? It's a small mythological stories. Underline that, children. They may ask you for a simple 1 mark question. Legend means the local mythological stories. Every place will have their own legends. You may tell me, Taj Mahal means, again you remain the Agra. Agra means in Agra there is a Taj Mahal. It is a rememberable or else memorable place. Like that, it's adade adanta ondu ella ondu place ku adade adanta ondu legends irutte, adade adanta ondu place na mahatvagalu irutte. There are legends behind the names and places like Shravana Belgula, Bengaluru, Koppala, Pattanakallu, Gokarna and Mysuru. Mysuru means again you tell Mysuru means Aravane Palace, Mysuru Palace. Shravana Belgula, Gomateshwar statue is there. Bengaluru, Koppala, Pattanakallu and all Gokarna is a temples. Gokarna, Pattanakallu is all temples built by historian peoples and by their own legends. Every village and towns have their own legends. Adade adanta ಒಂದು story irutte, ಒಂದು ಚರಿತ್ರೆ irutte. So that is nothing but legends. Legends means story or it has own story or ಚರಿತ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Next, archaeological sources. In that sources, first one literary sources over, written literature, Kautilya, Arthashastra, you heard. Again, foreign literature, Megasthenes, Indica, Fine. Next, oral literature, orally telling by songs, ballads or poems about local heroes, Kumara Rama, Sangodi Rayana, Kempegowda, Tippu Sultan, etc. Next, I am going to teach you archaeological sources. In that, there are 4 types. First one, inscription, coins, monuments, other ruins. Children, understand again. Archaeological sources. First one, inscriptions, coins, monuments, other ruins. Archaeological sources are available not only on the surface of the earth, but also hidden deep in the depths of the earth. What do you mean by archaeological sources? ಏನು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಮುಂದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಕಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಡನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೊರೆದು ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆಯೋದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಕಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹಿಡನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್. The hidden things in the earth are dug out by the scientific methods. These are the hidden in the earth surface. These are dug out. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಗದು ಭೂಮಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಗದು ತೆಗೆಯೋದು is hidden deeply dug out from the earth's surface is known as archaeological sources. The best example is Harappan civilization. The best example is Harappan civilization. You heard that about civilization, ನಾಗರಿಕತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಚೆ ತೆಗೆದಾಗ ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹರಪ್ಪನ್ ಸಿವಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅವರು ಇದ್ರು ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. This is the best example for archaeological sources. Dug out, this process is called as excavation. What they dug out from the earth's surface is called excavation. Excavation. This process is known as Harappan civilization came to light only due to the process of excavation. Firstly, we don't know about Harappan civilization when they did the excavation. In this process, they came to light about Harappan civilization. This is the best example for archaeological sources. During excavation, ruins of buildings, inscriptions means ಶಾಸನಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. So when they dig out the earth surface, inscriptions, coins, monuments, Harappan civilization came into next terracotta pieces. Underline the children's terracotta pieces ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಚೂರು. ಏನು terracotta pieces ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಚೂರುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೀಲ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮುದ್ರೆ. ಏನು ಮುದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆರ್ಎಸ್ ಟಿಸಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ದು ಮುದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಂಟೋನೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಮುದ್ರೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಒಪ್ಪೋದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸೀಲ್ಸ್. Seal ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯಾ? Will ask you. You put a seal from your school. On that time you note that these seals. Seals, beads means madigal. Bone pieces, metal and other have been founded during excavation. Children, during excavation, best examples I told you: Harappan civilization, buildings, seals, bangles, terracotta pieces, bone pieces, metals and tools. What they were using in ancient times, people were using tools. That when also came into light. These are analyzed by applying various scientific methods to understand the life of people of those times. In that, first I am going to teach you inscriptions. What is inscriptions? Inscriptions means engraved writing. Writing in ನೋಡಬಹುದು ನೀವು. Writing ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ inscriptions. Inscriptions. You can't read this because ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. They written in their own language as kings. This is inscription. Engraved writing. Inscriptions are written on stone. On what? They are writing on stone, rock, metal, ivory, terracotta. Terracotta means I told you madike. Terracotta and other materials that last longer. They wrote on the rocks, ಬಂಡೆ, ಕಲ್ಲು ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿದ್ರು. ಆಗ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಕೃತ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ರಾಜರುಗಳು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಲಿಟರೇಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಶಾಸನ ಬರೆಯೋರು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ more reliable inscriptions are more reliable as these have a direct relationship with their events. In that, first inscription is Ashoka's inscription. The first inscription is Ashoka's inscription. Which is the first inscription? Ashoka inscription. Are the earliest inscriptions in India? They may ask you, dash is the first inscription in India. Found in India is Ashoka's inscription. Most of his inscriptions are in Brahmi script. He wrote in Brahmi script. He wrote in Brahmi script. Their language is Prakrit. Which language is this? Prakrit. Thousands of inscriptions are found in Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Sanskrit, Prakrit languages. Underline children this will learn. First one, Ashoka inscription. He wrote in Brahmi script and written language is Prakrit. Samudragupta's Allahabad pillar inscription, Immadi Pulakeshi's Aivole inscriptions, Kharavala's Attikuppa inscriptions and other inscriptions portray the military achievements of the rulers. So after Ashoka inscriptions, there came Samudragupta's Allahabad inscription, Immadi Pulakeshi inscription, Aivole, Kharavala's Attikuppa inscription. Underline that children. After Ashoka inscriptions, they came to light this Samudragupta's Allahabad pillar inscription, Immadi Pulakeshi Aivole inscription, third Karavala's Attikuppa inscriptions. The Uttara Meluru inscriptions narrate the rural administration of Chola kings. Underline that one also. Uttara Meluru inscriptions narrate the rural administration of Chola kings, about Chola kings. Apart from this, many political, social, cultural, economic, educational, religious aspects are reflected in these inscriptions. After this, there were the political, social, cultural and educational, religious aspects are reflected. They came to light. Next, coins. You can see here, coins. Coins, though the coins are small in shape, they contain many important aspects. Now you know that coins, one rupee coin, up a year, ee ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ ಆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ರಾಜರು ಆಳ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಭಾವಚಿತ್ರ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಅವರು ಆಡಳಿತ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರು ಅದಿರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. They are helpful in understanding the geographical extent of the rulers kingdom who minted the coins and who did the coins. They also aid us in knowing the language of administration. ಆಡಳಿತ ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ. Titles that the kings possessed, their religion, economic conditions of the times, metal technology in vogue of particular kingdoms. ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ಅವ್ರು ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬಿರುದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಟೈಟಲ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಆ ರಾಜರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ? ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಆಡಳಿತ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರು, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಬಿರುದು ಅಥವಾ ಟೈಟಲ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಯರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಆಡಳಿತ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Samudragupta had minted 7 different types of gold coins. Underline that first. Name Samudragupta who minted his photos on the coins in gold coins. Gold coins ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ 5000 6000 ಇದೆ. ಆಗ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಂತೆ. It is said by Samudragupta was a lover of music. On this minted, you can say that Samudragupta was the lover of music. He had conducted Ashwamedha Yaga too, and he also conducted Ashwamedha Yaga. Gautamiputra Shatakarni got the name of Nahapana erased on his coins. So Gautami Shatakarni Nahapana ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೆಸರಿರುತ್ತೆ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಎರೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋನ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, engraved his name on them. This supports the view of Gautamiputra had defeated Nahapana. By these coins you can say that Gautamiputra defeated Nahapana. The availability of Roman coins in Bengaluru proves the fact that this region had trade link with Romans 2000 years back. So ಈ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ರೋಮನ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು 2000 years ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವರ್ಗು ಆಡಳಿತ ನಡೆಸಿದ್ರು ರೋಮನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೌತಮಿಪುತ್ರ ಶಾತಕರ್ಣಿ ಸೋಲಿಸಿ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ನಾಹಪಾನ ಒಂದು ಚಿತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಎರೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅವರ ಚಿತ್ರ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Monuments are the major sources to write history. Palaces. Example ಏನೇನು ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪ್ಯಾಲೇಸಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಫೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ ಆರ್ ದ ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ only. Mehrawali's iron pillar and Vijayapura's whispering gold gumbas are the evidences of the maturity of their science and technical knowledge. Best example is gold gumbas. Monuments के best example ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು gold gumbas, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ Mehrawali's iron pillar, Vijayapura's whispering gold gumbas. You already know that once we call in the name gold gumbas, it will whisper and it will echo. Whispering ಅಂದ್ರೆ echoes ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೆಸರು ಕರಿತೀವಿ 7 times ಅದರ echo ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Shah Jahan's Taj Mahal tells the story of love. You know that Shah Jahan, due to name of Mumtaz, his wife, Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal to the love of his wife Mumtaz. Chittoor's Vijayastamba tells the victory of Rana Kamba. Chittoor's Vijayastamba victory pillar, it tells the victory of Rana Kamba. Rana Kamba ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ರು. The cave pictures and engravings of Elephanta, Ellora, Ajanta narrate the mastery over painting and sculpture during their time. Ajanta, Ellora, Pattadakallu, Elephanta ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನೆನಪು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. The temples of Ayodhya, Pattadakallu explain the evolution of Indian temple architecture. ಅವರ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಪಟ್ಟದಕಲ್ಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಐಹೊಳೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಈಗ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆತ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. The monuments of Nalanda and the architecture of Madras are built by Gavan in pillar. Underline that children, narrate the importance given to education. So ಓದಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಂತೆ ಇದನ್ನ monuments of Nalanda. Gavan in pillar, underline that during those times. The fort of Srirangapatna explains the accomplishments in the area of defense technology. Thus, the monuments throw light on their contemporary religious aspects, technology, economic growth, scientific knowledge, and creativity achieved. By these things, we can know that monuments throw light on them by technology or economic growth or scientific knowledge or their creativity, how they created the temples and all you can know. Other ruins means based on the various pieces of terracotta. I told you madike ಚೂರುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಮಡಿಕೆ, terracotta means madike, bangles, beads and seal procured during the examination. One can understand the socio-cultural, economic, political and religious life of then people. Not only this, one can also understand the food habits and pattern of business of those times. Other ruins ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Bangles or seal or terracotta ಏನೇನು ಚೂರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಫುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇನು ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಈ ಅದರ್ ruins ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. By applying carbon 14, underline that children's page number 4 last line. By applying carbon 14 dating procedure on the biological ruins, dead animals, birds and trees found in these sites. So carbon 14 apply ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 14 ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಏನಿದೆ, ಯಾವ ಬರ್ಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೇನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಬಳಕೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Found in this region, one can arrive at the accurate period of the ruins. Buddha stupas are best examples. Other ruins are best examples and underline ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Buddha stupas came to light during excavations. I already told you excavations ಅಂದ್ರೆ archaeological sources ಅಲ್ಲಿ Harappan civilization ಬರುತ್ತೆ, terracotta, bangles, seals ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅದರ್ ruins ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ Buddha stupa during excavation at Sanati in Yadagiri district and Rajagatta of Doddaballapura Taluk. These were the two best Sanati in Yadagiri district, then Rajagatta of Doddabalapura Taluk. In the excavations conducted at Arkimedu and Pattanam in Tamil Nadu, a large number of evidences were found that speak of commercial contact between South India and Romans. The excavation in Tamil Nadu, especially in Tamil Nadu, they did, and there they came to know that there were the relationship between South India and Romans. Namma South Indian jothe there were good relationship between South India and Romans. Romans people jothe namge one best relationship ittu anta kuda ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ ಬುದ್ಧ ಸ್ತೂಪಾಸ್ ಯಾದಗಿರಿನಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಬುದ್ಧ ಸ್ತೂಪ, ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡಬಳ್ಳಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಘಟ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೋಮನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮೆನಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಎ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್. So in this you know that you should know C carbon. ಏನು C carbon 14 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Radioactive carbon. This should be done only to the biological fossils. ಯಾವುದು ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 14 ನ? ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 14 ಅಥವಾ C14 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Radioactive carbon. In every being, the C14 and C12 will be present in equal amounts. So C12 and C14 are put by equal amounts after the death of the living being. C12 remains constant, but C14 starts losing its volume. It loses half of C14 by 5,700 years ago. If one can estimate the levels of carbon 12 and carbon 14, one can estimate the accurate age of the fossil. So by putting this carbon 14 and carbon 12, they can tell in how many years they came to estimate. They can tell the age of the fossil. Fossils which are 10,000 years old and can also be identified using this carbon dating method. They can tell that fossils how many years ago it came, and they can tell by using the carbon 14 and carbon 12. That's all, children. Today I am going to last the chapter sources. If you have any doubts, clear that. Once again I am telling you clearly, children. Here sources. Without sources there is no history. No sources, no history. What is history? Systematic study of past is called history. In that, two sources were there: literary sources, archaeological sources. In literary sources there were two types: written literature and oral literature. I told you native literature means written by Indians. Examples: Kautilya's Arthashastra. Second, foreign literature. Example: Megasthenes Indica. Next, oral literature means telling orally, folk songs, folk literature, ballads. Ballads means I told you poem or songs. Next, archaeological sources. Archaeological sources they were hidden. What hidden by the earth or is deeply dug out by the earth is called archaeological sources. That is called excavation. By excavation, they came to know that Harappan civilization came into light. And first one in that archaeological sources, inscriptions. For inscriptions, I told you the temples they are written. Literature is there. They are written in their own languages. Next, coins. Coins means metal, silver, gold. I told you Samudragupta or Nahapana, Gautami Shatakarani wrote. Next, third one, monuments. Monuments, temples, palaces, forts. Temple means you can know that Taj Mahal in Agra, Pattadakallu, High Gode, example, they put it on trees, plants, birds. You can say that dinosaurs are also best example. They came to know that how many years ago it came to know. Example, fossils. Fossils, I can tell you, dinosaur is the best example. This was the sources read in this chapter. Go through to the question answers, page number 5. There they can ask you how do historians write history, what is the meaning of sources, how many types are there, I told you how many types, and name into native literary works written by Indians. Second, foreign literature. Next, which source has more reliability for writing history inscriptions, Ashoka inscriptions, I told you. The first inscription is Ashoka inscription. Next, what are the aspects on which monuments threw more light? Monuments threw more light is Rana Kappa, Taj Mahal and all came. Next, Ajanta, Ellora, Pattadakallu. By what method at the age? Next question, 8th one. See the children's 8th question. By what method the age of biological fossils can be decided? By what method? Carbon 14. I told you radioactive carbon. By putting this on the birds, trees, plants, you may know that before how many years ago it is there and all. Their age and all you can know. You can identify by using carbon dating method. Thank you, children.